The monster, Naoya Inoue, destroys Emmanuel Rodriguez to advance to the finals World Boxing Super Series. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Let's get into it. World Boxing Super Series semifinals, and it was in Scotland. I was interested in this fight, just watched it. Congrats to Team Inoue. Great performance, great surgical performance. Inoue got the knockout in the second round. In his last 3 fights, he hasn't really been going many rounds. Emmanuel Rodriguez was trying to counter off of kind of a lazy jab in the first round, so he extended it. And, you know, within like 20 seconds of the second round, he got out of the first round. And, you know, it was some back and forth, good action, filler round type of thing, back and forth. Inoue, you know, he established his dominance and his skill set in that second round. About 20 seconds or so into the second round, drops him. Rodriguez he took a long count, and he needed it because he was badly hurt. You know, he got rocked to the core. He took a long count. Ref let him continue. You know, this is a big moment, World Boxing Super Series semifinals and whatnot. And then Inoue was just patient, kind of bouncing, ready, you know, like a shark in the water, like real, man. Like, I was getting hyped because Inoue, he smelled blood, you know what I'm saying? And Inoue was coming in for the kill. And Rodriguez, I give him props. He had a lot of heart because people probably would have stopped after the first knockdown. Then he got dropped again immediately after that, you know, a barrage of punches and stuff. But it's not just that he got dropped again when hurt, it's how he got dropped. You know, when you're in the moment and you're frazzled, you're already rocked and hurt. It takes a very smart fighter, i.e. Floyd Mayweather versus Sugar Shane Mosley is an example of this. You don't have maybe your full senses and your complete toolkit because your brain is, you know, rattled. Rodriguez, he was very susceptible to the body. And I told you that Inoue is a great body puncher. He has a destructive left hook to the body. I think he caught him with the right, but it was to the body, and it took the wind out of Rodriguez, and he fell down. He was on all fours. And the scene looked similar to Eric Morales versus Manny Pacquiao. I think in the second or third fight, where Morales looked over to his corner and he was shaking his head. But so I thought he was like quitting because he was leaking, blood was coming out of his nose, and he was pouring, and he was badly hurt. Second time getting dropped. I was like, oh shit, he's quitting. That's what it looked like to me, because like I said, it reminded me of Eric Morales versus Manny Pacquiao in the second or third fight. I think it was the third fight maybe, where Morales looked to his corner and he was just like, nah, like end this. But I think his corner was ready to throw the towel because he got up, you know. So I think the corner was about to like wave the towel and like throw it in to save their fighter, and he was like, nah, let me go out on my shield. So again, showed heart. Rodriguez got back up, right, and then he got immediately pinned to the ropes, and then Inoue let his hands go. Murder she wrote, got dropped again. Ref seen enough and seen his eyes weren't clear, you know. He gave him all the opportunities, and you know, Inoue advances, collects another belt. It's him versus Nonito Donaire. You know, I really like the World Boxing Super Series for this. Any style of tournament is dope. I like it just because it's like the true essence of this sport. No politics, no bullshit. It's supposed to be the best 118 pounders, and it's a good thing. The only downside, and this has nothing to do with Inoue or even the World Boxing Super Series, is now we have Inoue versus Donaire. I don't know how many people would even favor Donaire over the monster at this point of his career, but Donaire does have power, you know, and I think it's actually a big fight just because it's two Asian fighters, you know, both with power, both got a great left hook, stuff like that. You have a Filipino fighter versus a Japanese fighter. So, you know, I think it could be big, but I would have preferred, me personally, that Nonito Donaire, like if you look at both of his fights, and I'm from the Bay well, not the exact location, but I'm from the Bay just like Nonito Donaire, so I followed Donaire's whole career. I really respect how he reinvented himself after stoppage and bad losses like the Rigondeaux fight and the Nicholas Walters and stuff. And he kind of resurrected his career. But the Ryan Burnett, who just won over the weekend also, it ended kind of untraditionally because he picked up an injury, and it was a competitive fight. It wasn't like a blowout. And then Zolani Tete was the original opponent, which I would have preferred to see Inoue fight him. He fights out of the Mayweather gym, but he picked up an injury, and it was only revealed the fight week of the Donaire fight. So they put Donaire in with a late replacement, Stephen Young. He had like a loss, and Donaire knocked him out. It was kind of one of the knockout candidates of the year, but it was just a late replacement, little time to prepare, and it wasn't as good. So I would have preferred to see at least Donaire versus Zolani Tete. So we got a decisive answer, and the rightful I wish they postponed it, to be honest. Postponed Nonito Donaire versus Zolani Tete, let him heal from his injury, have that match, because this man Inoue, like I've been telling y'all, is a fucking monster. He's living up to that nickname, that moniker. He's a monster. So I want to see the best person against him, because it's going to take a lot to beat him. He's gaining steam. He's moved up, and he's making it look easy, and he's getting better and better. And I told people for the longest, check for this fight. Check for Inoue. He's surgical. He can box. He's not just some power, madman with power like some people like in the sport. He's surgical. Left hook to the body's butter. His jab is butter. He has power. He's dropping sparring partners. He's taking his career seriously. He's big, for the division, for the weight. He's looking like a complete fighter. And if people had Sor Rungvisai, who had power and had good wins over Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, if they had him, like ESPN had him on the back of the pound for pound list, Inoue should be right there. He should be creeping right there, because from a complete skill set and what he's doing and how he's making it look, he's creeping. He's creeping on the come up. This man is a beast. I fuck with Inoue, and I have for a long time. I'm just seeing how he's breaking people down, and he's making it look effort. Speaking of Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, a lot of y'all had him as number one pound for pound. I ain't never had him number one pound for pound. And I told y'all back then, this shows who knows shit about boxing. If you're my A1s and day ones and you've been fucking with the channel, then you'll know I told you there was no way that I seen Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez beating Naoya Inoue. I told you that. And people at the time, because Inoue hadn't been in the World Boxing Super Series at the point, and they hadn't seen some of his fights, and and Chocolatito was the one being praised by Tom Loeffler and kind of connected to Triple G. You had a lot of dumbass casual fans, because people were HBO and ESPN were saying he was number one pound for pound. They were just going for that. They were attempting to argue with me and say that Chocolatito could somehow beat Inoue. I seen it. Inoue and Chocolatito took a picture next to each other, and the size differential was massive. It was a massive size differential. Now, size is not the only thing. We just seen Canelo beat a bigger guy who didn't do the same day weigh-in in Daniel Jacobs. However, we're talking about a size differential plus like defined skills, a defined skill set. So as a smaller man, how you gonna beat a bigger guy who has a better skill set than you, and he's bigger? You get what I'm saying? Chocolatito's more of an offensive fighter. Naoya Inoue is developing, and he's looking like more of a complete fighter. And if you know the Japanese culture, shout out to all the Japanese fans and fans in Japan, but they treat martial arts very serious. It's like, even like back in the day in the ancient samurai times and stuff like that, it would be considered a dishonor if you did certain things to let the enemy intercept, and you would have to kill yourself, like, things like that, if you dishonored the Japanese culture in any type of way. So there's a lot of Japanese fighters, and we've seen in boxing, that are extremely tough. Kamagai, he's tough. Look at his fights with Robert Guerrero and Cotto. He's just tough. Arakawa and Omar Figueroa, whether they're going to win or not. So that's just kind of the culture, not to stereotype, but there's a lot of tough Japanese fighters. Then when you insert the skill set of Inoue, the size, the discipline, and the boxing ability, and it looks like he has a good camp and stuff, that's what creates the monster, because he's not just surviving off of being tough or some dumb shit like that. He's actually equipped with all the tools. Very good performance by Inoue. I told you he would have destroyed Chocolatito. Now maybe people will finally realize that this new media shit and the shit I be talking about is real. But, you know, it's not about Chocolatito. It's about Inoue. Congratulations on his victory. I'm definitely favoring him to beat Nonito Donaire and to get the Ali trophy. He's in the zone right now. A lot of momentum. He, from the eye test, looks bigger. I haven't looked up the actual stats, but he looks to me bigger than Donaire. And he's just more in his prime and stuff like that. It's his time. Let me know what you guys think. But a killer knockout. Very, I like that, man. And see, the Inoue, after he got his man dropped, he went to the body. A lot of young fighters don't do that. They'll headhunt and then like punch themselves out because people are trying to, you know, they're hurt, you know, they're topsy-turvy, so they're just trying to survive. So, you know, they moving all around and squirming and stuff like that. That body is more of a stationary target. Inoue, oh my gosh, shout out to Inoue. Let me know what you guys think of the knockout. This man is a beast. He's living up to the monster nickname. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button if you're new. Consider subscribing. I'm enjoying the World Boxing Super Series. Look forward to seeing Inoue take it all. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.